Welcome back to Real Legends Podcast. I'm your host, Bo, here with my co-host, Dan.
What's up?
And we have a little announcement to make for you out there. We are going to start doing a new thing with the Real Legends Podcast. We are going to have the Real Legends Club, aka we will be announcing movies before we watch them. That's right. Now you, fans, can go watch the movies on your own and then tune in with us as we talk about them. Also, we'll be providing ways where you can message us or even live message us. And maybe at times we'll even go live on YouTube and you can submit questions or comments or critiques or thoughts about the movie yourselves. And then we can kind of reply and have a good time. So keep your eye out open for that. I'll be posting about it on YouTube, Instagram. So we'll be announcing the movies a month in advance. So for June 2025, the next two movies we'll be watching are Star Wars 1977, A New Hope, and Raiders of the Lost Ark. So mark your calendars, get ready to watch those, and come join the discussion with us. We'll be watching Star Wars on the 19th, but the recording won't come out until the 25th. So as long as you watch it before the 25th, or I suppose if you want to be commenting live when we start doing that, you'll have to be watching it before each Thursday each week. So watch Star Wars before next Thursday, watch Raiders of the Lost Ark before the Thursday after that, the 26th, and come join us for some fun.
I think it sounds smart. Be able to let people know what we're doing and then having like an established timeline is smart. We've gotten a couple comments on our Apple podcast, which was good. So if we can get more comments on the YouTube and on the Spotify, it'll be totally worth it so we can interact with people.
Definitely. So be looking out for that. Make sure if you are a listener out there, share the show, give reviews on our podcast, comment on Spotify and YouTube. It helps grow the show. And with that, I'm Bo.
I'm Dan.
And tonight's movie is Nacho Libre, the Mexican luchador extravaganza.
Bro, I love this movie so much. I hate to say it, but I'm probably going to give this one my best rating. I had so much fun watching it. I was laughing the entire time.
Yeah.
How quotable it is. The story is so unique. And Jack Black just does such a good job of portraying Ignacio's character.
Yeah, I agree. It's funny because his accent's like inconsistent the whole movie,
Super
but it's
inconsistent.
almost like a joke, I think, too.
Yeah.
They shot on some beautiful locations. Like the sets and locations are great. Love them. So many different ones. Like the bathroom that they were in at the end was really colorful and fun. Just to like the monastery. Very cool, pretty setting.
When he's in the wilderness and the village is right there. It's also a great set.
We'll get to spoilers soon. But yeah, our initial thoughts are on the movie. I enjoy this movie. I think it's so fun. I remember actually seeing this in theaters with my family.
Really?
Yeah, and I was like, that was such a dumb movie. And my parents hated it.
Yeah.
And I feel like I kind of, that osmosis kind of was like, yeah, that was really dumb. And then I watched it with my friends a couple of years later, or maybe not too long after, and we just freaking loved it.
It's so good.
It's so funny.
There are lines, like, this came out in 2006, and me and my family still quote it to this day.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a great one to quote.
They out of my PJs. We say that all the time.
I hate orphans. Come again?
I hate all the orphans in the whole world.
All right, well, if you don't have any other initial thoughts that you want to shout out or talk about or movie news, then
Well, I think talking about this one is really interesting because it's not a serious movie, and it knows it's not a serious movie. However, the story is still actually fairly compelling. Like, I'm a story guy, and I actually really like the story of this. And I think that it takes an interesting talent to be able to make something really stupid and really fun and funny, but still at the end when he, accomplishes his goal, you're like, oh, that was awesome. Yeah. Like, I was genuinely happy that he was able to succeed in the end. Right.
Definitely demonstrates the importance of no matter what you're doing, you need to have structure and you need to be telling a story about someone that's trying to do something that the audience can engage with. It can't be someone that's just perfect and awesome and everyone just has to bow down to them and like and just everyone else needs to change. Ray Skywalker person.
Yeah. But also, like, there are a lot of comedies where the story is just really stupid. And it's like, oh my gosh, this story is so lame. You're just watching it because the movie is funny itself. But I think that what Nacho Libre does is it combines... It's one of the funniest movies, in my opinion. I was laughing seriously the whole time. But also, it's a great story. You could take this story by itself and take the humor out of it, and it would actually be a compelling story.
Okay, well, we're going to dive into that, definitely. So I want to hear more from you about that. Well, I think we'll just do some movie news at the end of the podcast, and then maybe I'll push it to the front in the edit.
Okay.
But we're going to jump into spoilers now, so if you're listening and you haven't seen Nacho Libre, please go watch it. And get some people to watch it with you, some people that have a sense of humor, and just have fun with it. Go watch it with your family. Go watch it with some friends.
Yeah.
And then you can thank us later.
And
if you've already seen it, well, get ready to laugh some more with us. All right, Dan. Let's just jump in. Spoilers, spoiler free or not spoiler free. All the spoilers.
All the spoilers. It's like a big spoiled egg.
Yeah, dude. Just like that eagle egg that he cracks open and drinks.
And then he farts before he jumps off. These eagles give me no power. They give me no nutrients. Thank you for the lies, Steven.
Let's just start at the beginning. Opening shots. I'm trying to remember what the very first one was.
It's him pulling off the cloth on the table.
Yeah, I knew it was like, that's like the montage is how it starts with those really funny, like,
so
try to pull the tablecloth off without knocking things over really fast, and it never works.
And he's sitting there fighting in a graveyard, and the priest comes and start hosing him down like he's a pig. So funny.
Dude. They got a great kid actor for that part too, after they put him in his robes. Like monastery robes, monk robes, and they like send him off in the kitchen to go cooking, and there's that bowl of chips, and he's like poof with his elbow. Next time I walk into a room with a bowl of chips, he's just gonna trip on an elbow. Oh man,
that's what I'm saying though, is that I was thinking about this and how unique of a story it is. It's this guy who works, and he grew up on in a Catholic monastery that doubles as an orphanage in Oaxaca, Mexico, where luchadores are looked at like gods.
Yeah.
Who comes up with an idea like that? Seriously.
Yeah.
And like it actually explores some really interesting questions of like religiosity and no money for the kids, and how orphans are treated, and how fame is perceived. And yeah, it's actually like a good moral movie too, because at the end, like, he succeeds and he gives all his money to the orphans, and it's like, dang, what a happy ending.
Despite him making up things like, thou shalt not wrestle your neighbor. The Bible says, do not wrestle your neighbor.
Go on, go away, go read some books.
Read some books. Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think there's some good morals to this movie, and just like the idea that this man, he was raised in an orphanage. He has kind of a cruddy life. They just assign him to cooking, but they don't give him any money or ingredients. And he loves the kids, and he's willing, like, from the very beginning when he starts getting money from wrestling, first thing he does is buy better food for the kids.
Yes, because he paid attention to what that one kid said. Why can't we ever have just like a salad? So he gets him a salad.
Right.
And you love his character. You're like, oh yes, he's so thoughtful, and like he cares about these kids. So then you start caring about them, and you want what's best for them.
Definitely. Just if you want to talk about any favorite quotes or scenes or things,
Anaconda squeeze.
to do that, and then we'll get into the story questions too. The introduction of Esqueleto, I don't know if he has a name. Steven is way fun too.
Oh yeah,
he's like going to pick up the scrap chips that they throw away for the orphans, and he just ambushes him. Yeah, you got all the sound effects of like rat,
like some evil cat. Demon thing.
Me and my friends would call him like the rat mall guy. Just a little rat mall.
And the way he decides to capture him He runs up to a random alleyway and throws the chips and then waits. And he shows
Just baits him into coming out.
Your skills plus my skills in the ring. Tag team.
And he gets Steven's help initially by... Because Steven has like an arc too. Initially, he wants nothing to do with Nacho and fighting. But then he's like, but there's money. And he's like, okay, maybe I'll fight with you. By then, he kind of has an arc reversal.
He even says a little prayer at the end.
Right. Yeah. So
the baptism scene is so funny. I don't know why you always be judging me. Just because I believe in science. He gets the bucket.
Well, tonight we're fighting
Satan's caveman.
So I thought maybe it'd be a good idea.
And then at the he says felicidades. And for those who don't know Spanish, that means congratulations. He gets like baptized without his consent. It's so funny. Summon your eagle powers. What do you think I'm doing?
Dude.
So good.
Also, yeah, we get introduced to a love interest in this movie.
Yeah.
Pretty early on, like the first 20 minutes.
She's friggin' hot.
Sister
too. Encarnacion. Yeah, she's a cutie.
Yeah, she's a very cute woman. The stupid other monk dude sends Nacho off to go look after some sick or dying guy. And then he's like, so me and the sister can talk of holy things.
And then he goes with his hair.
Greases back his greasy hair.
So gross.
Oh man, I love that scene though when he goes into the dead guy's house. Well, it's not even a dead guy, just some sick guy. He just walks in, like you commented, where is he? It's just like, it's not a very great written line, but it's a performance line where it's like he just kind of shouts it and
the lady just stands there. Where is he?
Then he just doesn't know what to do, so puts corns on his face, doesn't check for a pulse, doesn't check to see if he's breathing. They don't think I know a buttload crap about the gospel, but I do.
Would you come to my quarters for some toast?
Dude, he's bold. As soon as he meets her, he introduces himself, asks her to come to his quarters for some toast.
And then he shoves the toast on the gross floor through the bottom of her door.
Yeah, she doesn't show up. He doesn't get a chance to get to ask her out, so he just forces toast under her door when he gets back.
And then she's all being polite and asking him questions, and he's just not really interested in those. Then he goes, so anyways, who is this Encarnacion? Everything you said is my favorite thing to do every day.
Yeah, at the very beginning, he's, what would they call that today? The name for it.
A creep?
Yeah, well, there's that too. He's definitely a creep, but we're like, you're just a simp, I guess. Yeah, he's a simp for this gal, and...
You like it, though. I mean, it's very charming, and he's not going to do anything to her, but you can just... I think it explores his character really well. It's he shows his parents. He shows that he really cares about the kids, but he's also feeling within the monastery he's very restricted. He's not able to pursue his dreams, pursue his interests, and he just feels stuck.
Yeah. Let's get into those questions then. So whose story is this? What do they want? What do they ultimately need to do or become? And does the story make us care?
It's Nacho's story, obviously.
Yeah, what's his name? Ignacio, Nacho. And what do you feel like he wants initially?
He wants to be free. He wants to spread his wings.
Yeah, I feel like initially what it seems like he wants for me is he loves wrestling and he wishes he could do something outside of the monastery. Yeah. And wrestling would be that thing.
It's not even fame per se. It's just that he wants to feel useful.
Yeah.
He feels his duty in the monastery is so lame because he's oh, this is a dead guy duty. I don't want to be cooking. This is such a lame life. And then wrestling is a way for him to gain prestige and status because he's bottom of the totem pole at the monastery.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's not only you're just stuck on cooking duty, but you're stuck on cooking duty with no ingredients.
Right.
No money. So it's that's even more restrictive. It'd be one thing if you were well supplied. You could be creative. You could have, a lot more opportunity to
Yeah.
not be restricted. But yeah, and then wrestling, I feel like, is a way where it's like it's his like passion or dream, and to get out and be able to do that.
We
Not
see
really even us about the money, because we even see as he starts to lose, he's like, I don't even care about the money. I just want to win.
Yeah, it's true.
So just kind of like wanting to feel useful, wanting to feel like a man, wanting to feel successful.
I do think this is like a classic like manly story. It's like the hero's journey in a way, where like he's not doing anything, but then he's like called to action and he's able to like accomplish that goal. And yeah, like the money is like almost secondary than just like accomplishment.
Right. Though none of us are above, Nacho's not above, getting some nice boots when he sees them at the market or some clothes.
That's the cool thing too, is that like I think Encarnacion actually gives him a really good conversation, like a good talking to in the kitchen when he comes in late and he's like, is it always a sin to fight? And she says, if you're fighting for others who you love and for other people, then it's not.
Sure.
And then he's like, oh, I've been doing this like all wrong, because before he was
kind of started that way.
Yeah, because he's doing it for money
himself.
and for him to be able to like have it. But then when it switches is when he decides to like do it for the kids and like doing it for somebody else, which is actually a really cool message. And they like talk about God a lot in this movie, which I think was great. I think this movie could not be made today for several reasons.
No.
One, it's actually funny. Not allowed to be funny today.
Yeah.
Two, he plays a Mexican character and he's not Mexican.
Right.
3, his accent is quote unquote offensive.
Yeah.
3, God is everywhere in this story.
Mm-hmm.
And 4, the gender roles are very, very traditional and the woman isn't being a boss babe.
Yeah.
Like everything is wrong about this movie by today's standards, and that's why it's still so good.
Love it. Yeah, I agree. Let's get into that second part then. So like, what does he ultimately need? Because we kind of voiced, a bit about what we feel like he wants.
Yeah.
He wants to be successful. He wants to have a purpose. But what does he ultimately need?
He needs to be a provider. He needs to be doing it for someone else. And he actually needs to like put his hands, I mean, in a religious sense, he needs to put it in like God's hands. And I actually think it's really fascinating that Esqueleto prays with him right before and he wins.
Yeah, I would say I was watching the movie and I wonder if there's something to this where I was looking at it where, because his clothes get burnt off at one point after he prays in the monastery and he gets set on fire, and it kind of reveals his wrestling clothes underneath.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole time in this movie, he's kind of been living a double life, right? He's been hiding that he loves wrestling, hinting at it a little bit to people, but hiding it. And then at that point, it finally gets to where it's like the two worlds collide. Like he's been wrestling, he's been being a monk and still cooking, but then they collide where it's like, okay, no, I am Nacho. I'm Ignacio, your monk leader, but I'm Nacho Libre. I'm a luchador. And so I wonder if part of his like need is, yes, I think there's something to what you said, because I don't think the arc ends there where he needs this like when he gets revealed, but I think he needs to stop like living a double life of hiding what he really loves. And so I think there's like, two parts to it, because I don't think that's the whole, I don't think that by itself either.
After that he loses.
Right.
He loses the big fight.
Well, yeah, after that he does a really good job, but yeah, he ultimately still loses. But he also gets kicked out of the monastery and he loses the fight. And so it's like all's lost moment in the story where your hero looks like everything's lost. And then I was going to say he goes out in the wilderness and just like gives up on life, right? But yeah, I think what you were saying about the needing to fight for the right reasons and like not only embrace your passion, but not make it about like the fame and the glory. Make it about embrace your calling for bettering other people's lives. And he kind of does that. He tells the girl in his letter, he's like, if I win this or if I lose this, the money's going to the kids because I know like what I'm fighting for now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Esqueleto is a huge homie there too, because he goes out to him when he's when he's in the wilderness, and Esqueleto tells him like, hey, I broke this guy's foot so you can go fight him again. And then he's like, well, I don't really know. But then he's like, do it for the orphans.
Yeah, he's like, they need you. And he's like, I thought you hate the orphans. Not anymore.
I thought that was interesting. Like, kind of a cool thing of Esqueleto to just be like, hey, these kids, like, they clearly need you. And it's kind of like his arc right there is when he decides to care about other people too, because he's very self-centered as well.
Mm-hmm. El Esqueleto is in at the beginning for the money. As soon as they get money, he starts getting extravagant right away. He doesn't care about getting Nacho into the party. He's like, sorry, you're too fat. And like he says he hates the orphans. But then like after he sees everything Ignacio's doing for the kids, and then, you know, seeing that kid that's hungry trying to get the food from the guy that he breaks his foot, Silencio. Yeah. He's like, I think that's kind of like the tipping point for him where he's like, no, these kids, you know, kids need help and I should be doing more to help them. And
yeah,
he has that arc of...
It's kind of cool though that like Nacho just kind of gives up on it and the Esqueleto has to like bring him back in. And I think that it reminds me a lot of like Frodo and Sam, where like Frodo's like they're like literally on Mount Doom and he can't do it. And Sam is just like, I'm going to carry you the rest of the way.
Sure. Yeah,
it's like you need that character to kind of pull you out of your stump sometimes.
Yeah.
And I think that was pretty cool.
Everyone needs a Steven. Everyone needs a Sam.
Yep.
I think you're right. Like in life, we need people. We need community, and we need people that are on our team. Mm-hmm. And you don't always get them. You know, some people don't believe in you or don't, you know, and that's sometimes their own deal. But ultimately, find good people in your life.
I think like
find people that'll cheer you on what you're trying to do.
Yeah. I honestly feel like we need more movies about orphans and orphanages because I felt like a ton of empathy for these kids down there. Like, none of them have parents.
Mm-hmm.
They're eating disgusting food all the time, and they can't do, like, anything fun.
Can't even freaking wrestle, man.
Yeah. Like, not having parents is just... I mean, that would just be so hard. But, like, the feeling of, like, having people who, like, have your back. Like, I'm sure Nacho hasn't felt that way, like, his whole life.
Sure. So he relates for sure.
So Esqueleto, like, coming up and just being like, hey, like, they need you. Probably the first time that he's really had someone interact with him like that from, a perspective of love.
Yeah.
Because the monastery seems, like, really rigid. And, like, they want him to do things out of, like, duty and obligation. And they're always, like, saying he's not doing enough. And, like... when the one guy walks up and says, "Bueno, look alive!" and slaps him, like, obviously he's not treated well.
Yeah. And you pointed out that Encarnacion, she tells him, you know, like, you're needed. These kids need you. You have duties. You have responsibilities.
Mm-hmm.
Which is really good to hear from your woman.
Yeah.
So, like, women out there doing that for your man, great.
Mm-hmm.
Continue to do it. Encourage them. Remind them. Expect of them. But I think it's great that he gets it from El Esqueleto as well, or Steven, because she's kind of a part of that world, of that inner world of the monastery, even though it's still good for him to hear it from her. And so having that second voice, someone else encouraging him, yeah.
All I needed was a little bit of encouragement, and he changed the kids' lives. That's what I'm saying, though, dude. Like, it's a hilarious, stupid, funny story that you could watch and not even care about the story and just laugh the whole time.
Mm.
Or you can be like, wow, this story is awesome. About this guy who's conflicted with his interests between being a good friar for these children and also wanting more. Like, and that conflict is very fascinating.
Right.
You could do a movie like this, removing all the humor and have an interesting story still.
Right. You could take the skeleton of the story, of the plot of a guy who... and you just replace it with anything. Like a guy that wants to be a great bicyclist or whatever, right?
He's not allowed to be.
Yeah, and he's not allowed to because he's stuck with this other situation that he's in. But he fights with that, and then he meets a woman, and then he has a friend that ultimately encourages him, and then, you know, so forth, so forth.
Yeah.
So
great movie.
Yeah.
Great story, very funny. Would recommend. My parents hate this movie so much.
My parents initially hated this movie, but I think my dad now thinks it's pretty hilarious.
I think they still don't love it, but they can understand, like, why people think it's funny. But my mom she hates, like, stupid humor.
Yeah.
She can't stand it. And she thinks Napoleon Dynamite is so dumb.
Yeah,
She wouldn't let us watch it as kids. Or Monty Python. Because she's like, this is too dumb. And those are like my favorite movies now. Nice try, Mom.
You only fueled the fire.
No, honestly, it made me like want to watch them even more.
Yeah. Sure way to get kids to do something. Tell them not to.
Tell them that it's dangerous to watch or
Tell them
whatever.
you're not allowed.
Yep.
And then they'll do it.
It's true.
Even harder.
I'm gonna
Like
date her
watch
even
The
harder.
Simpsons when we... My mom hated The Simpsons.
Dude, we did the
growing up.
same thing.
Just like, anytime it was on, just like, turn that crap off. I hate the show. It's bad. It's not a good... Or whatever she would say about it. I don't want to misrepresent my mom. She's awesome. But yeah, she didn't like us watching it, and
Yeah.
we would try to sneak and watch it even more.
Every Friday night when my parents would go on their date, we'd go to Channel 13
Yep.
and watch The Simpsons. It was amazing.
Oh, man. Nacho Libre. Okay, so he kind of talked about what he ultimately needs to do with fighting for the right reason and embracing who he really is and not hiding it.
Mm-hmm.
Does the movie make us care? And if so, how?
I think so. It makes you like the kids a lot, and you just see their need, and you also feel like you see Nacho's like desire to just like be more as well, and you're like on his side the entire time. You like really want Ignacio to do well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think we hit on a lot of it already with like how the movie makes us care. Especially when he's doing things that he doesn't have to, which he's constantly doing for the kids, buying them stuff with money. For the fights he's taking a beating for. Like, he could not be giving any of that to the kids, but he always is choosing to do that.
Exactly.
So it's like, yeah, you care about him, you care about his ambitions, and you care about that he cares for the kids. So, great job. Great job,
Nickelodeon.
great job. What's his name? Jared Hess, director.
I can't believe this movie has such bad
Made
reviews.
Nacho Libre, Napoleon Dynamite.
He made a Minecraft movie as well?
Apparently.
Dang, now I need to watch it.
Wait, did you not see it?
No.
Oh, who did I talk to that's seen it? I've never seen it either. Maybe we'll have to watch it. I heard it's kind of funny.
I've only heard good things about it.
Hmm.
It's got terrible reviews, but that means nothing.
Yeah, this one has...
This guy, James Hess, does not look at all.
Jared Hess.
Jared Hess does not look at all what you'd expect. He is 6'5", and he has a massive black beard.
Currently. I wonder what he
Wow.
looked like in the past. I mean,
Have you seen Gentlemen Broncos?
no.
That
I've
movie's
never
funny
heard
too.
of that movie.
That's a funny one as well. It's very Napoleon Dynamite-esque.
Okay. To check that one out. 20% tomatoes.
It's
but
very dumb.
Masterminds. I don't think I've even heard of this either.
Oh, it's got Zach Galifianakis. It's got to be good.
Gotta be good.
Have you watched Zach Galifianakis Between Two Ferns interviews?
I've seen some of those,
Gosh,
yeah.
they're so funny.
Yeah, I think you shared that with me, actually.
He is so funny.
Pretty funny stuff. Pretty funny guy. All right, well, let's get to our... Well, one last thing before we head out of Nacho Libre. The training montage.
Oh,
It's ridiculous.
bro.
It's like, what are you doing?
Puts the poop on his eyes and shoots him in the back with an arrow.
And I get it. It's like, I get why some people probably can't watch this movie or don't like it, because it's just like, they just do dumb stuff to be dumb. But that's why I wanted to get to the training montage, because you said earlier, like, some people maybe don't like this movie, and it's a dumb movie.
Yeah.
And in some ways, it makes me feel like I shouldn't like it because it is, but it's just so, like, quotable
Yeah.
and fun.
He throws
It's like you just ignore how dumb
He
it is.
throws a wasp nest.
Chucks it out.
Like, for some reason, that would help your training.
They're almost like inverting everything from Rocky. It makes me want to go watch Rocky now.
Yeah.
Like, maybe that's what we should watch next week.
That'd be such a contrast.
Back to back. Even at the end when he wins, he kind of like does a Rocky jump and falls down. It's
true.
But anyway. All right, let's get to our rating of Nacho Libre. And if, legend or letdown.
I wonder if the writer actually thought, let's just do a Mexican version of Rocky.
Right?
Dude, that'd be so funny.
Trying to think. So Rocky, I would say, yeah, Rocky's kind of stuck being like a what you got? Tough guy that goes and collects money, and he just doesn't want to be a bum.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, but
fighting is his way out.
We'll talk about that movie another time because I would want to visit that one. Legend or Letdown and scores.
Legend. Absolute legend.
I just have to give it as legend because, I mean, what movie's even comparable to this as far as like just quotable ridiculousness?
Only Napoleon Dynamite.
Mexican Oaxaca. Yeah, pretty much only Napoleon Dynamite, which is same director.
And Monty Python.
Yeah. Very different movie in some ways, but yes.
Just stupid.
Ridiculous.
The story's not as good in Monty Python. You don't feel like you're interested in what they actually do because it's all just...
Oh, yeah, certainly.
So silly.
Certainly. Okay, score, Dan. Go ahead.
Oof. For what it is, 9. Yeah.
You're giving this movie a 9? Like,
I am.
Not just what it is score, like that's your actual score?
That's my actual score.
Bro.
I love this movie so much. I will say, like, if I'm comparing it to, like, an Interstellar, they're just two very different kinds of movies.
Mm-hmm.
But I still love this movie as much as I like Interstellar.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But they scratch totally different sides of your brain.
I feel like, though... I'm not trying to make you change your
score. My highest score.
Yeah, definitely. Oh. But yeah, like, because there's movies on my list that I'm, like, absolutely, like... I think Galaxy Quest equally does just as good a job as this movie at being, like, what it is. Yeah. That's, like, a 9 movie. But I can't give Galaxy Quest a 9 because because like a 9, it's like it's
hard for me.
That's a 4.5 star movie. That's like almost a perfect movie, and in some ways, this is almost a perfect.
I can't think of anything else that they would have changed to make it better.
Yeah, that's true. I mean,
it's so funny, and the story's actually really great.
Yeah,
I'm sticking with my 9.
I don't want you to change your score at all.
100%.
I don't want you to. You might drop your jaw when I give my score, but
I won't be surprised.
I won't be surprised. Let me look away from this. Nacho Libre. Definitely legend for comedies. I'm there with you for what it is, like, and what it's trying to do. I think it is a 9. Definitely. But I just can't, I just don't feel right about saying that this movie's a 9 and then movies like The Prestige or Ocean's 11 is not a 9. Because I think those movies do probably just as well what they're trying to do. So that's where I feel like the scoring comes in for me that way. I would say this movie is probably, for me, looking between 7.5 and 8.
Seems fair to me.
That makes me feel like I should bring up Big Trouble in Little China, though, because the movie's freaking awesome. I will give this movie an 8. I think it deserves it. It's really funny. Good story. I think it's well told. Even though it's told in a very flabbergasting, cheesy, not cheesy, but like
silly,
ridiculous way.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's our scores for the movie Nacho Libre.
Do you think Big Trouble in Little China is better than this?
Do I think it's better?
Yeah.
I think there's things about this movie that are better, like we talked about, like the morals, like teaching about fighting for the right people, like fighting for people, and like including God in that and what He wants for us and wants for His children. Like Big Trouble in Little China has none of that, but it's not trying to have any of that.
Mm-hmm.
I think for an action comedy, I think it probably is better than a 7. I think it's for an action comedy. I think it's probably like a 7.5 or 8.
So you'd say they're right about the same?
Yeah. But I would say like I like that one for different reasons and this one for different reasons.
It's hard for me to like give this one any negativity either because first time I watched this movie I think I was like 11.
Yeah.
And I thought it was so funny. And I've watched it like every year of my life at least once. So it's just like a classic. Like I can't dislike it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
Like your mom's pizza. It's like technically Domino's is better, but something about your mom's slice is just...
Dude, your mom's pizza is better than Domino's.
That's actually a fact. I'm glad you agree.
I agree. I would take that any day over Domino's.
I've had a few friends over and they're like, it's okay. It's not bad. But like, dude,
those friends are losers, dude.
My mom, when I would go, like, when it was my birthday, my mom would make us our favorite dinner. And I would always ask for pizza.
Nice.
Man, it was so good.
Always ask for a pumpkin cake with cream cheese frosting on my birthday.
Pumpkin cake?
Oh, it's so good.
Do
you like pumpkin bread, pumpkin bars, pumpkin muffin, pumpkin cookies?
It's okay.
Pumpkin is one of my... I love pumpkin. I was born in the fall.
You're wearing an orange shirt. Makes sense.
So, well, this is kind of reddish.
But. Yeah. I know colors.
Yeah. Dude, any movie news we want to hit before we wrap out? I saw The Phoenician Scheme by Wes Anderson. It was pretty good. I definitely wasn't my favorite. There's fun stuff with it. I actually really like the character and the arc, but overall, the movie wasn't that engaging. I like some of his other movies better, for sure. Fantastic Mr. Fox, Moonrise Kingdom. Like, I would definitely not give that movie a legend status. But it was fun.
I saw that there's a trailer for Spaceballs 2.
No.
Came out today.
Dude, I saw... do you remember the old Naked Gun movies?
Yeah.
It came out a long time ago. Before me. Did you know they're making a new one with Liam Neeson? And it's so dumb. Like, he comes walking into a... Okay, so these police are all come rushing to a bank that's getting robbed. And all of a sudden, this little girl with a lollipop goes walking past all the SWAT team and stuff and goes and walks in the bank. And they're like, little girl, what are you doing? What are you doing? And then she gets into the bank, and the terrorists, robbers are like, hey, little girl, what are you doing? Point their gun at her. And then, like, Liam Neeson, like, pulls a mask off, and all of a sudden he's, like, a full-grown man in a little skirt and, like, blouse and starts fighting them.
What?
It's just so stupid, dude. That guy needs to retire. I just can't believe. So dumb.
That's so
This is Qui-Gon Jinn, man. We can't have him being freaking Naked Gun.
Little
dumb
Bo
movie.
Peep.
Ugh, that's ridiculous. They just, again, have to reboot.
Enough. Okay, come up with something new. Come up with a cool story like a friar from Mexico who wants to be a wrestler.
Yeah.
Seriously, that's so unique.
Jeez Louise, dude. For real. What were you...
All I saw was that they're doing Spaceballs 2.
Yeah.
Spaceballs 1 was one of the stupidest movies ever made, so I don't think Spaceballs 2 will be any better. But it was interesting because the trailer is like a scrolling thing, and it says, after Star Wars was made, they made a prequel, a sequel, a prequel to the sequel, a prequel to the sequel, a sequel to the prequel, a spin-off this, and it just started kind of like roasting Star Wars.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, maybe it's good because it's kind of taking pot shots at Disney, and then it like also talks crap on the MCU and how they come up with so many movies. So it was kind of an interesting thing. Elon Musk shared it.
I'll have to check it out.
So it's, I think Spaceballs 1 was terrible, but I think you're in good company if you start dumping on what Star Wars has become.
And Marvel.
I'm with you there 100%.
Disney just overall. Yeah.
But hatred of something is no substitute for an actual good creation.
Yeah. And that's not also a great unifier.
No.
I mean, it can unite people, but I think we could let's unite behind something like good movies or good causes.
Yeah.
All right, dude. Well, this has been fun.
Great movie.
Yeah,
such a good movie.
Such a fun movie. Good watch. Fun time. Remember out there, Real Legend audience, that we're going to be announcing movies ahead of time. So like we said, next week's movie will be Star Wars 1977. The next week after that will be Raiders of the Lost Ark. So find those, watch them, and come join the discussion. You can find us on YouTube at Real Legends Movie Podcast, and you can find us on Instagram at real.legends.pod, and that's REEL. For real, because this is movie real time, baby.
Right, baby.
So we'll see you at the cinemas concession stand.
lighter skater. We have 6 subscribers on YouTube. Let's go.